Sup homos. This episode of the Pawcats is a movie tier list, which means we're going to be discussing spoilers. So don't cry about spoilers. Timestamps below. Look my big thingy. Also rip this sad moment when the flood totally killed Emoto. Sad face.
Hello, gamers, and welcome back to finally another episode of the Pawcat. Today, it's a it's a special Pawcat because it's a Pawcat's movie time. No, excuse me, Pawcat's Moby Time Tier List, Volume 4, which means we already have 3 of those. So go check them out. This is our current rating of the movies we have been watching together. And we have how many to add to the list? Like 13, 15, something like that? Maybe 16?
Like 15 or so.
Right. So we're going to have a great time. This is going to take another like 2 or 3 hours. So why don't we just cut to the chase and get started right away? First, okay, fuck. Why is this? This is the thumbnail, right?
Lomo.
So Mankitsu Happening. I can't believe I remember the title. Actually, I can because this was my second viewing of this. Yes. How are we supposed to rate this? Like, do we rate it as like a movie, or do we rate it as a hentai, or both? Like,
Yeah, this is the hentai I picked for the first viewing of this 4th round. Ooh.
so what do you guys think? How are we supposed to rate a hentai exactly? That spans over 4 episodes.
I think we need to make a new tier for this one.
Yeah, it seems kind of difficult. So as far as movie goes, this was just complete ass. This is just terrible. Still better than it, but pretty bad. However, I think the real discussion is, well, how does it qualify as a hentai? So first, let's talk about its qualities as a movie. It's silly. So it's the story of a young man who has a special ability that he doesn't have control over, which essentially gets him into all sorts of, I want to say sexually ambiguous, but they're not all that ambiguous. They're pretty explicit situations with
He likes
very
to fall
hot
on
women.
boobies by accident.
Yeah, or there was also that one scene where the girl on the far left, like he's in the bathroom, like he's taking a piss, and like somehow they trip, and she ends up with his dick in her mouth.
Yeah, as you do. As
Yeah,
one
right.
does when they trip.
So that sort of thing all the time, and he ends up obviously banging absolutely everyone, and the girls end up banging each other. So the plot is, how would I explain that? It's about as thin as a gas station sandwich. However, this is not the plot is not the only, like, it has redeeming quality. First of all, it's not a movie, it's actually a series, 4-part series, and it's obviously a hentai. So how, Paladin, I'm curious, or maybe Zeiss, maybe you have something to say about that. How would you guys say it qualifies as a hentai? Obviously, we are all hentai enthusiasts. We are experienced in, in the field of reviewing pornographic Japanese animation material. So how did you guys think this held up exactly?
I didn't get past the first episode.
You were done on the first episode.
Yeah. I couldn't really get into it.
Oh, I see. So you're an early Coomer, huh? I mean, nothing wrong with that, but
Unfortunately, this didn't activate my Coomer sense, so
oh, really?
I just stepped out. Yeah.
Huh. So was there something specifically that didn't do it for you?
Uh, it was just too unrealistic.
Well, do you have an
I could
example
not.
of?
I could not suspend my disbelief for this.
Yeah, it was kind. It was on the scale of ridiculousness that will break the nut. This was pretty high up there. I'll agree. Yeah, this was a nut breaker, kind of.
I
I give it like
definitely think most hentai are pretty silly, either in premise or just the quality of the characters or writing. I do like that it takes place in a manga cafe. It's the kind of PC Bang Maid cafe library that I'd want to be a part of. So at least the background and the settings was cool. Ooh woo.
As far as hentai goes, yeah, this was more of the this was amongst the more silly ones, and it was kind of a nut breaker. And also, I don't know, there the animation wasn't particularly good. There was no scene where I was like, "Holy shit, that's so hot." It was just kind of average at best. So even as a hentai, it was not a great one. I mean, it's a hentai. It's serviceable, but I don't know that I'd recommend it. There are 4 episodes. It's the kind of thing where maybe you watch one and then like either you nut or you don't, but then you're just done. You're not gonna bother watching the second one for a second round, you know? Um, like I appreciate when a good hentai has several episodes and you watch the first one, you get a good nut. You watch the second one, you have a good nut, and so on. But this one, eh, not really worth it. So how
so
do you
0
guys
out
want
of
to
10.
0? Wow. That's rough. You think it's worse than it?
That's also what I think of most anime.
I don't
So
know.
you think it's worse than Apostle? That it's worse than the worst half of Antichrist? Nah. I think it's a 3 or a 4.
Yeah, it's a 3.
Was it better than was it worse than the gunfight at the OK Corral?
Yeah, it's a 3.
So on par with it?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's fair. Yeah. What do you think, Zeiss?
Well, as for the claim that it's too unrealistic, I think that goes for a lot of hentai. And also anime. Well, also this show is basically me and my girlfriends, the hentai.
Well, I mean, I think there's something to be said about there is a degree. It's not just about something being unrealistic. I think it's also it being nonsensical. And this was not only unrealistic but very nonsensical. Whereas some other anime or hentai, they're unrealistic, but they make sense to a better degree at least than this.
Yeah. Like my cat girl Yuri harem. I'm thinking something like 4 or so.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so 3 it is. What do you think, Size? 3? Let's settle for 3. We should watch more hentai. Oh, okay. Next one is the Indian in the cupboard. Obviously, not an Indian, actually, what you'd call a Native American, but they don't want to be called Native Americans, so that's interesting. So the Indian in the cupboard. Um, this is the story of a little boy that gets 2 presents. One of them is a cupboard with a key, and the other is like a little Indian figurine.
This show
From
is
one of his
basically one of the inspirations for Arby and the Chief. Alongside Toy Story. Ooh woo.
Oh, he stole the Indian from the thing, didn't he?
Did
From
he
the set at the
steal it?
school. Yeah, took it from school.
Okay, yeah, he might have. Anyway, um, point is, when he puts the little Indian in the cupboard, it comes to life, and then there is a whole, how would you say, like he essentially has to learn about responsibility and all that, and it's actually a fairly interesting movie. I liked it.
And being a parent.
Yeah, I mean, you have to care. He has
Manga.
to care for that thing. and it's actually really interesting. I liked it a lot. What did you think of it, Paladin?
I liked it when the cowboy almost killed the Indian. That was my favorite part.
You're spoiling the movie maybe a little too hard. Oh yeah, obviously. Spoiler alerts literally everywhere.
Lol.
Let's get this out of the way.
It's a little too late for that.
Yeah.
When you describe the whole plot of the movie.
And I tried not to describe the whole plot, just the synopsis. You know, like, why would you want to watch this movie? Well, this is why. It's actually kind of interesting.
Well, just because they know something happens doesn't mean they know when it happens or how it happens.
Yeah, well, you
Just
see the
that
background.
just because
and...
it does happen doesn't mean it takes away all of the whole experience away. It might enhance it because you're always wondering when it's gonna happen. I didn't like the friend.
Oh yeah, he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, it was kind of just like, I don't think we needed the friend.
Lol.
You don't think?
That was kind of annoying though.
I think he made sense though in the movie. I think he actually made sense.
Oh, I mean, I guess like it showed the kid what he used to be like and how he's
But then
changing
there
or
would
whatever.
be childhood conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he had a pretty important role in all of this actually.
It's just another one of those movies where the white kid is the most important thing in the world and everyone else doesn't matter.
XP.
That's really what it was, because the darker skinned kid was like, he didn't understand what was going on, and the white kid had to explain everything. And the white kid is entitled to everything, even to another human being in the past.
Diva Gremlin.
Why can't it work backwards? Why don't we chop up the kid, put him in the cupboard, and have him teleport back to wherever these people are from?
Yeah,
all the statues.
Let's do that. Let's do that and get.
And then they can reassemble him because they're just toys. Remember? Because he turns into a toy afterwards.
Oh, that would, yeah, obviously.
I don't know. I'd give it like, I don't know, maybe like a 4 or 5.
Oh, really?
Kinda, yeah. I
I
mean,
think I'd give it a 6. I think it was slightly above average. It was enjoyable. Not a movie I'd come back to, but it wasn't bad. But maybe that's because I'm white.
I also really liked the part where the Indian said that the kid shouldn't play with the magic thing he doesn't understand, when he killed that old Indian. So my thumb. Toying with their lives as if they're toys or something.
Yeah, and also he tells blind stories. And that was a good movie. I'd give it a 6, honestly.
Oh, hold up. That's where the blind stories memes come from. We should make it a 7. That alone bumps it up a couple notches.
I wouldn't give it 7. I'd give it 6.
Yeah, like a 5 or 6 for me. Or did I say 4 or 5? Somewhere around 5.
What do you think, Zeiss?
Yeah, I think I'd agree with 6, looking at the rest of these scores.
6 it is then. Now, next, James and the Giant Peach. So
this is a good movie.
Yeah, it was actually, I liked it. This is the story of a little boy who loses both his parents, has to live
What's his name?
with Jimmy, Jonathan, something like that.
Okay.
And he has to live with his
It's
two
in the title, retard. Lomo.
Oh, so his name is Peach? Oh, okay. So the little boy called Peach has to live with his two horrible aunts, and they're horrible, but there is like a tree, but like it's dead. But then there's a magic man that comes in and gives him like weird magic worms, and basically a huge ass fucking peach grows on the tree, and one day he sneaks inside of it, and like it detaches, and he goes on a whole fucking trip to New York and he makes friends inside the peach. So there is the caterpillar, there is the ladybug, obviously French spider GF. Who else?
Yeah,
The grasshopper and the worm.
Thank you.
Oh, there's
And
not a caterpillar. There's only a worm.
oh, it's a worm, not a caterpillar. Okay.
Yeah, it's a worm.
the centipede.
Is there a centipede?
Yeah, no? Yeah, the
Brooklyn
captain
one.
guy. Yeah, the captain who becomes captain or whatever. Steers the ship. Oh, and pirates. Eventually, at some point, in the North Pole.
The
or
one who
something.
commits pesticide.
Anyway, this was a decent movie. I liked it. I have kind of the same feeling about it as previous one. It was a nice movie. Not, a little more substance to it than the previous one, though. But ultimately, I don't know. It was decent. I wouldn't come back to it. I'd give it like 6 or 7.
Those fucking insect puns throughout the movie were on point. That was a good point of the movie.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Good puns. And it's kind of the same idea where the kid has to learn about responsibility and all that. So it's actually good kids movie.
That's what we like to watch. Movies that are made for children.
Yeah,
Because-
like Mankitsu Happening. Yeah.
Yep. Informational and educational film.
I mean, it's anime, so it's for kids, right?
Precisely. I'd give it like a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, I'd give it 6 too. It's
Well,
not
movies
my.
made for children don't have unnecessary porn scenes. Usually.
What do you mean usually? Yeah, it's the kind of movie that I can't say it's a good movie, but we're not really the target audience for it.
It's not
But-
one of those movies that you have to watch, but it like you don't lose anything for watching it, you know? It's just something you can turn on and like, okay, that's a cool movie.
Yeah. Again, I
It's
think
not one of those like, top 10 movies that you have to watch before you die.
yeah, I agree. But it's a decent one. I don't regret watching it. I didn't feel like I was wasting my time. So I'd give it a 6 also. Same ballpark as Indian in the Cupboard. Maybe a little higher. But I don't think I'd want to give it a 7. That seems a little too high.
Also, these two boys are so oblivious. Why are you gays even my friends? This movie is actually about eating ass. Eating Princess Peach's ass. And then going inside the peach. So that's why I really like this movie.
Okay.
Well, everyone has their own interpretation of these things. It is art after all.
It's called hentai and it is art.
Yes, it is hard.
No, art. ART.
Like me.
Is,
Ooh.
is art. It's a 5. Unless
Nyah. Hard art.
Har. What score do you give it? Guys.
Yeah, I think I can agree with 5 or 6.
Yeah, but which one? 5 or
Well-
6? I don't think it's worse than the Indian at the cupboard. In the cupboard. I don't think it's worse than it. I think it's, if anything, it's actually better.
Okay, well then put the Indian in 5th. And we'll steal his land and put the peach in 6th.
Sure, I think that's fair.
Yeah, it is better. I'd agree with that.
It's better by like a rather significant margin. Probably better by a tier. Yeah.
English people stealing the land of the Indians as it's meant to be.
Yep. Next one. Uh,
This is a 0 out of 10. The whole movie, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's a 0 out of 10.
why? Why would you give it a 0?
Okay. They lost. They wasted 2 hours to watch them lose.
Yeah, I really didn't get into this one like at all. I couldn't care less. I was I was
I was lying. I can't believe you couldn't sympathize with the plight of black people trying to fight for their freedom.
I really don't fucking care.
D.
I so don't give a shit. Like,
XD.
I
The
mean,
mask has slipped.
it was just so boring, man. Like the premise can be interesting, but the way they took it was just, I don't know, it's just boring. Nothing fucking happened. I can't even remember the movie. Probably because I was doing something else.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
But I remember trying to watch it. I think I tried to watch it, and I was just so bored out of my mind.
I think the moral of the story is you fight for your cause regardless of if you win or not. You know, it kind of goes with the name Glory. You're just fighting for the cause.
Yeah.
So I
I think
picked this movie because I actually respect the 54th Massachusetts Regiment and like the Black Lives Matter protesters who defaced their monument. Yeah, it's definitely super fucking slow. XD. Yeah, you always playing games instead of watching movies with us like we plan. So my thumb.
Not always, just sometimes.
Yeah.
Like like that Fox movie. I was playing Guitar Hero the whole time.
This one's like a 5, like a 6 or a 7 for me. Like it's pretty good,
Honestly,
even though it's slow paced.
I'd give it 4.
Playing Breath of the Wild and Hands and Guitar Hero. Fucking faggot.
I wouldn't give it more than a 4. Honestly, it's just. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't want to watch it again. I want to forget about it and be done with my life. This was a waste of time.
Well, if you forget your history, you know what they say.
It's not my history.
It's human history. It is your history.
But I'm not black.
The embers of revolution can cause more fires. You know.
Also, I found it. I don't know. There was something silly about this movie. I can't. I don't know if I can. I want to be careful
Go on, say it. No
putting
filter.
my finger on it exactly, but there was something silly about that white kid trying to help all those black men. There was something silly and that I interpreted as somewhat propagandist about it. But maybe I'm just my mind is not in the right place for this. That's also possible. I don't know, but I know I didn't like it. It was really slow, and I just didn't connect with it.
White
Well,
guilt.
the educated white man has to help the poor black people. That's just how it's been for the last 100 years.
That sounds so fucking silly to me.
I mean, that's literally. I don't know if it's literally how it played out, but
I mean,
he died.
you
He
were
died on the
literally
field with them.
dude, Indian and the cupboard. You were literally talking about how everything is about the white kid. Isn't this exactly the same thing?
Well, no, he died with them. It's kind of different. The white kid was just using the
Fair
Indian
enough.
for his spare time plaything, and this white
Okay,
man
okay.
was like, I hold the flag, and if I drop it, when do you guys pick it up?
Okay, fine. Still only giving it a 4.
Racism bad, okay?
Well, if you think
Probably.
about it, they gave him that regiment as a joke. They weren't expecting the regiment to actually fight. They just wanted labor. Like slaves. Until he argued that they should fight. Until he
What?
argued that they should fight for the Union.
Okay.
So no war.
Okay, fine. Maybe
The pacing
premise-
definitely shows its age. Shrug.
Yeah.
So I can
that-
agree with like 3 or 4.
Yeah, 4 is good.
Like maybe fair, fine. Maybe my interpretation of it isn't correct, but still not a good.
All these older movies are simple brains. They don't have the patience for it.
Also, no fucking wide shots in that final siege at Fort Wagner. Yet.
Yeah, the battle choreography was not the best. Aiming and everything.
So what you guys say?
4 is okay.
Wait, is this better than Mankitsu Happening? Arguable.
Yeah, a little bit.
Debatable.
Nah, it's better than Mankitsu Happening. Okay. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Does this movie really need any introduction at all? Hasn't everyone seen this already?
Now, this is a story about a black man I can get behind.
I actually agree. I think that was a great movie. You know, and obviously, like this is kind of a sad thing. So I don't know if it's me or society or Marvel or whatever, but whenever I watch a movie like this, I feel sort of compelled to see it through a how would I say that? Um social critique lens, which is kind of sad. But if you get rid of that lens, it's just a good movie. And with that lens, you could argue it's better, worse. I don't care, whatever. It's a good movie in the sense that uh
Well, this movie was made by Sony, not Marvel.
okay, yeah. I think if it was by Marvel, it would have been a whole lot worse.
It probably would have been different.
Yeah. Because I didn't feel like it was overly
It didn't
SJW.
ham
It
fist,
wasn't
the social justice
yeah.
causes.
It wasn't actually that bad in terms of like it was very subtle.
No, like the story, like he just happened to be black, and
Yeah.
that was it. Like it doesn't matter.
It didn't actually matter. And I actually like that. I think that was really cool. That's the kind of like uh
Anyone can be Spider-Man. It made me feel like Spider-Man.
well, I mean, you have to remember that the OG Spider-Man in this movie is actually white. It's still Peter Parker. But two of them, actually, right? So most Spider-Man are white, but some are black.
Some are black, some are girls, some are robots, some are pigs.
Yeah, right. Some are pigs. No, that was good. So, what's really cool? I think I've seen a few videos, talking about this movie and sort of trying to piece it together. One really cool thing I've heard is that this movie is like about trying to figure out what it means to be Spider-Man, but like actually trying to explore it, not through like. And it's very hard to have a movie where this is the point of the movie of figuring out what it is to be a superhero. Like, is it about the powers? Is it about this or that? And is it about the actions? Is it about the principle? What is it about? And it's very hard to make a movie like this without making it super boring. But I think this movie achieves that. It's very subtle. It's all in the narration. It's all in the story. They don't feel like they have to do a whole monologue to explain to you, the stupid viewer, what is actually happening on screen. No, I think it's a movie that actually sort of respects its audience, and I appreciate that.
This is basically how it should be done, instead of shoehorning in minority and gay characters and making their entire identity be about their token identity. Sleeps.
I
That
couldn't agree
always
more.
ends up being bad writing. Cause a
Yep.
bad writer leans on those things super hard instead of compelling conflict or struggle. Also, this movie is basically just a black man just trying to get a white gif. Typical. Black men are just betraying their kind.
Now, I don't know about that last bit, but I
Race
agree with
traitor.
everything else. I agree with everything else. Really good narration.
XP.
Also, this movie.
Saying you don't want a hot
looks
spider
good.
GF?
I do, but I'm not black. Also, this movie just looks good. It's just extremely good animation.
I want her to shoot her web on me.
We've all had that feeling before.
Teehee.
So yeah, aside from the, overly politicized people who watch this and kind of ruin it for everyone, I think this was just a really good movie, good narration, respects the audience. It's
At least a
and
9 out of 10.
and it doesn't take itself too seriously. In a sense, like again, it's not trying to be what it's not. It's just a good movie. You say 9? I don't think it's a 9. I think it's an 8. 7 or 8 for me. Like, it's a good movie, but not a fantastic movie.
Yeah, it's a 9.
7.
We all have opinions, but sometimes they're wrong.
Yeah. I mean, speak for yourself.
Nyah. Solid writing. A little too heavy on the tropes at the end, but shruggo.
And it is.
I'm thinking more like 8, but sure, I can do 9.
Nope, 8. It's not on par with Back to the Future 1 and Joker, and no, it's not. But it's close.
Your view of Back to the Future is a little bit
Excuse me? You have something to say about my review of Back to the Future, which is the best movie? It should be a 10?
Well, we can come back to this at the end if we want.
Next one, Beetlejuice. So this movie was recommended to me by a small streamer called Flawed KGB, a Risk of Rain 2 streamer, and this is his favorite movie. So I decided, you know what, we need movies for movie time. Let's watch this. What was this about again?
it was about
yeah.
a couple who died who
Yes.
are now haunting their house.
Budget Joker. With like no screen time.
Then the
Yes.
Joker was trying to marry the kid to get out of his little purgatory.
Also, yes. So yeah,
I mean,
it's about
it's okay.
couple who dies.
The 14-year-old cough gif.
Couple who dies. They're haunting their own, like, their house. They can't leave, and the new owners are like kind of pieces of shit. But they have a daughter, and the daughter can actually see them, the ghosts, and yeah.
The girl who Emoto thought it was a boy.
Why do you have to bring that up?
Because it happened.
Cause it was funny.
This is slanderous. I'm gonna sue you.
Ooh.
You can't prove it happened.
I think we had the logs.
Sue my dick faggot.
I can prove that you're falsifying, or rather, you cannot disprove that you're.
This is like a 5. It's pretty funny, but I don't know.
Diva Gremlin.
Yeah, sure, 5. Not much to say about it.
You're saying it's someone's favorite movie. I'm like, yeah, nothing to say about it.
I mean,
I spit in the face.
what do you want me to say? It's like, it's a cool watch. Not gonna watch it again. I don't know about 5. I think it's more than 5. I think it's more like maybe a 6. I
don't know if it was this movie, but they didn't explain the jokes. Like, they just made the jokes and let it happen. I really appreciated that about this movie. I can't remember. Was it this movie or was it? I'm pretty sure it was this one.
What joke do you have in mind exactly?
I don't remember them exactly, but I remember that there were jokes that they didn't like give us a second to process it. They just made the jokes and moved on, and not a lot of movies do that. Like, it was a well-made movie, and I can see why someone would see it as one of their favorite movies.
I don't know. I just think Tim Burton's aesthetic is quite a lot of ma. I think maybe his animated stuff works more better. Shruggo.
I'm giving it a 6.
Yeah, it's around like 5, 6. That's what I would give it. It just depends on how you're judging it. Like, if you're judging it on the story, it's kind of lower, but
okay, it could be a 5. 5 or
for
6,
me,
I don't know.
If you're like just judging it on like the technical stuff they showed, it's pretty good.
I can agree with 5.
Yeah, maybe 5. Yeah, it's a 5. Let's settle for 5.
On the bright side, at least the music's is also an RB and the chief one. Ooh.
Next one, the Book of Eli. This is the one with the everyone guy. And I'm trying to remember if I liked it.
Gary Oldman. Ooh.
He wasn't so old. Come on.
He's the only one who remembered the before times. Can't get older than that.
I think the end was silly. Like, really silly.
What, the fact that he was blind the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, I spoiled it.
Yeah, you did.
Well.
I don't know.
It's pretty obvious.
Planned.
Let's see. There isn't a single point in the movie that I can recall where I was like, holy shit, that's good. But even though it's a movie that definitely could have had moments like these. So it's just it just
kind of Denzel Washington movie. That's what it is. He's just playing himself.
It just leaves a weird aftertaste in my mouth. It's like, it could have been so good, but the ending kind of ruined it. It's so cheesy. Like, so cheesy.
I don't know. For me, it's just that it's a Denzel Washington himself. Like, if it was a different actor, I think it might have been better. Because whenever I see Denzel Washington, I can just only remember all of his other roles. Like, it's hard to see past him playing himself. One of these movies, like, he's always just, Yeah,
kind of Robert Downey Jr.
I mean, sure. His older films are different, but that's...
Yeah, no, it's not the same style, obviously, but they just sort of play themselves.
Yeah, he's one of the actors who just plays himself, and it's like kind of takes you out of the movie.
I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of Denzel Washington, so I wouldn't know. But it's just like, for instance, remember one of the fight scenes at the start where he just essentially like murders a bunch of, I mean, he doesn't kill them, but like incapacitates like 5 grown-up men all by himself. And then at the end, it's like, oh, by the way,
Denzel Washington movie.
And then at the end, you're like, oh, by the way, he was blind. It's like, no, he wasn't. Stop fucking with me. He wasn't blind.
He could smell them. You didn't get that
on.
part? He could smell them.
Come on, dude. This is
he gave hints about it the whole time.
It's not a matter of. It's not even unrealistic. It's nonsensical. You know, it's worse nonsense than Mankitsu Happening.
It's the Mankitsu Happening of apocalypse films. Is what you're trying to say?
Yes. It was not.
This is a pretty good film.
No, I don't think so. I think I'd give it a. I mean, there was Gary Oldman, and I really like him. So he carried.
Now that you bring it up, yeah, I can agree that there aren't any moments where I was really drawn into the movie that's spectacular or amazing. I think the premise was decent, but then the writing became all the tropes in the world again. Yet, the Midland ending needed a better writer or editor. Lol.
And there was also the whole stuff with like the old couple and all that. And I'm trying to remember, was there a single point where I was like, this is cool? And I don't think so.
They were cannibals. They were bringing you in for tea so they could eat you.
I mean, yeah, I get it, but so what? I didn't feel worried because this is Denzel Washington. He was gonna kill them anyways. Like, were they really in danger at any point? No.
He died at the end, though.
Well, after they were out of danger. You know?
He was never in danger because God was there helping him. That's what he said.
Exactly. Yeah, it's silly. It's kind of dumb. I guess if you're like...
Yeah. Wow. Cannibals. In another apocalyptic movie. How fucking unpredictable.
Yeah, who would have thunk?
I wish they would have like shown us that the book was useless earlier.
Yeah, like
or something like that. I don't know.
It's that big plot twist, but like obviously it's an American movie, so like something's gonna happen where Gary Oldman can't actually use the book. Obviously.
Kitty.
I want to give it a 3, honestly. I'd rather watch Glory again than this.
No, you wouldn't.
You're right. I'd rather watch Mankitsu Happening again than this. I'm giving this a 2 or a 1.
It's like a 3 or a 4. Maybe even less. Like, it's just an action flick.
I think I agree with 4 more.
You'd rather watch the Book of Eli again than Mankitsu Happening?
Maybe it's like 3.5.
Well, since he dies at the end, we can cut his head off and put it in 4, and then the rest of his body in 3. He also like to cut people's heads off.
Let's
his
just
blade
put it
was
at 3,
way
I
too
guess,
sharp.
Lomo.
Paladin, the weapon expert. Yes, tell us more about his blade.
It was too sharp. There's no way he could do what he did.
True.
So it's a 3.
Because he cut someone's arm, and then he cut someone's head without sharpening in between. Like, no, I'm sorry. Your steel is not that good in the apocalypse. And also, what bothered me about this movie, this guy's still alive. He was alive during the apocalypse, and he's what, like 60? And there's other old people, and they don't seem to really mind that it's the apocalypse. Only him and Gary Oldman are the only ones who remember, and there are other people at the same age. It was kind of bothersome too.
They needed a weapons expert to consult.
And they needed to not hire Denzel Washington for this.
Yeah. This is the Denzel Washington movie. If you've seen him once, you've seen him once.
Imagine if instead of Denzel Washington, it was The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I think that would have been funnier at least.
Well, the
And
writing
he was
is
blind the
still
whole time.
Yeah, he was if The Rock played the blind black hero, that at least I could have chuckled at that.
Yeah, it took itself too seriously. I thought it was saying something, but it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. It took itself too seriously. That's a good way of putting it.
like most anime.
Okay, Zeiss, thanks.
Too pretentious.
Next one is My Cousin Vinny. That movie was a fucking surprise. I loved that movie. It's easily an 8 or a 9 in my book. It's a great movie. So this is the story of 2 kids who get wrongfully accused of murder, and they're calling in their cousin Vinny, who is a quote unquote lawyer, but like kind of not really. And
he's the best lawyer in the country. He's won many awards.
Yeah.
And fought many landmark cases.
Absolutely. And it's so funny, like there is this really well written sort of dynamic between that lawyer who's like barely a lawyer at all and the judge who's extremely serious, and like in French you'd say he's very square, you know. It's so funny to see the dynamic between the two. Seeing the kids also at the start, you see the 2 kids sort of digging themselves their own graves, you know. It's really interesting. I really
Never talk to cops when they try to arrest you. Just don't say anything.
The final scene is so good. Like in court with the girlfriend, that was honestly so good. I loved that scene. There are so many scenes of this movie where I'm just either I'm laughing my ass off, or I'm just really drawn in and listening to what the characters are saying. It's such a good movie. Very good, terrific acting, excellent excellent writing. Honestly, a great movie. I would not have expected a movie like this to be this good, but this one is really this good.
And this movie is also about the kind of woman who I need to buy my big titty, spicy cough GF who doesn't take no shit from anyone.
Yes. Insane. Please. Absolutely fantastic movie, honestly.
Yeah, it's like an 8. It's pretty good.
Yeah, 8 or 9 for me. I'd settle for an 8, but I want to see it at 9.
She got the lips. She got the hips. She got the bogos and sucked my dick.
So what are you thinking, Zeiss? 8, 9?
My movie, by the way. Ooh.
Yes, it was your movie. And a very good one. When I saw the title, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be like some mediocre shit. But no, it was really good. Really, really good. I liked it way more than Spider-Verse. So it's a 9 for me. Possibly a 10 in my book. I'm not sure. Maybe not. I'm not sure if it deserves a 10 or not. But at least a 9 for me.
It's pretty good.
The humor was super good in terms of people missing some context, and then the character thinks Vinny is about to bang them in their jail cell. Monkey ass.
Oh yes, that scene was good too.
Quality humor. Well written as fuck.
I'd give it a 9 easily, and maybe a 10. Like, now that I think back at it, it was like such a good movie. Was it better than Back to the Future? Yeah, maybe. You know. Anyway, next one. Paprika. You have to say it with a Japanese accent, or at least try. Satoshi Kon. I remember watching this when I was much younger and thinking it was so cool. And now that I rewatched it, it's like, it's okay. I think a 7. But
it gave you hope that you would find a GF eventually.
Not really, no. That's, if anything, my cousin Vinny gave me hope like that.
Pretentious, mediocre anime that's not written too well, to be honest.
I thought it was decent.
I like the way it looked.
Yeah, it looked great. That's true. Like, the animation was good. But so is a lot of what does Satoshi Kon in general.
It was like, what is it? Inventor guy? I thought there was... Didn't make sense that Paprika put so much faith into him. Like, it didn't really seem like it. Just because... Which was the bad writing parts. Like, oh, believe in this guy because he's a genius, but he's not really showing why he's a genius. He's just a fat guy who likes to eat a lot.
Yeah, I guess.
Similar to Akira. These anime writers think that by hiding information from the audience makes the writing good.
I think Akira was better than this. If you're putting them next to each other. But Akira didn't have boobs, so this one's higher.
Akira did have boobs.
It didn't have boobs.
It did.
Teenage girl boobs.
Oh.
That's why Emoto chose it.
Obviously, no other reason possible.
And yes. This one.
Obviously, no other reason possible. Yes.
Needed more titties.
That's why I'm the one who picked Mankitsu Happening. Oh wait, did I actually pick that? No, I didn't.
I don't know. It's like a 4 or 5.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah.
The soundtrack. The soundtrack was a fucking banger. Was such a banger. I'd give it a 7.
You give it a 7?
Yeah. But we're gonna like average out anyways, right? I'd give it a 7.
It's not one of the best animated movies ever, but
no, it's not. But it's like you said, it's pretty good.
It's not as high as another anime that's on our list today.
Which one do you have in mind exactly?
Oh, we'll get to it.
What's another one?
And Mankitsu
are you
Happening
talking about the? Is it better or worse? Fine, 6. I'll settle for 6.
And Mankitsu Happening has a lot of titties, so it's fine. 'Cause I can't really say needs more titties.
Okay. But actually, you can say that it needs more titties. Maybe 4 girls isn't enough.
That's 8 titties.
Yeah, but maybe you need
lot.
more. Maybe
only got 2 hands.
Hey, maybe you need 9 titties. Yeah, I would settle for 6. Sure, it's not a 7. But I think it's a 6. I think the aesthetic was really good. I think the pretentious, sure, I can get why it might feel pretentious. I don't think it was pretentious, though. Yeah, some parts maybe were a little bit pretentious, but for the most part, I thought it was fine. Yeah, okay, it was pretentious. Fine, it was pretentious.
I wish this movie was better. but that's always what I say about pretty much all anime. It's sad. I wish anime writers weren't so driven by the horny peoples who want always make love stories or whatever.
Yeah, agreed. There didn't need to be a love story in this.
It's just their autism. Leave them
When
alone.
it's fucking unnecessary.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Okay, it's
Love
5.
love story was actually unnecessary in this, but I'm still giving it a 6.
Let's listen to the soundtrack.
Yes. Yeah, all things considered, I think Perfect Blue was better than Paprika. Also, isn't this on G-Bay's top 10 recent movies he's watched? It is, right?
I honestly think more like 4. There's other movies in 4 or 5 I'd rather watch again. Well.
Yeah, but I'm giving it a 6, so you gotta average out. I'm not gonna settle for 4. There's no way.
Oh, it is. It's his top 10. It's number 10.
Yeah.
XD.
Just make it 4. It's fine.
Nope.
Well, I said 5.
Yeah, and I said 6.
Oh, whatever.
The Boys from Brazil.
So we had the average. Good.
So Boys from Brazil. Pally, can you help me sort of summarize the plot? Because I'm gonna
Hitler clones.
Okay, that's not a summary. You just
It is a summary. Hitler clones. That's the whole summary.
No, that's revealing the plot twist. That's not the summary.
That's more like the core.
This is a story about how does it begin again? There's that one kid who gets killed, but he retrieves some information about a Nazi plan. This is way after the war, right?
Yeah.
And that like the 60s or 70s or something. I can't remember. 60s, I think, whatever. And there's this kid who essentially spies on some actual Nazis, and he hears that there's like a big thing happening, like 90 something men are gonna be killed all around the world in the next however, like I don't know how many, 2 years or something like that. And like he sort of warns this guy
Nazi hunter
who tracks down Nazis, and he
The
warns them.
Nazi hunter.
Yeah, right. The Nazi hunter. He warns him and tells him, you know, there's this thing going on that's going to be happening. What the hell? And he doesn't. No one really gets it. And then, so that Nazi hunter guy, he does the investigation, and so for instance, one of the things he does is he goes interview the wives of the men that get assassinated one after the other, and essentially, he does the investigation, and he realizes that, for instance, all of the kids of all these families, they look exactly alike, even though they lived in literal different countries. So it's not like they're brothers, and they don't speak the same language, but they all have the same attitude, and they all have the same. Well, they look exactly alike, and so the plot twist, like Pally already revealed, is that actually they're all Hitler clones. And the idea was to recreate as many Hitlers as possible by mimicking Hitler's familial situation. And in that familial situation, well, the dad has to be killed when the kid is at a specific age.
Well, they kind of are brothers if you really think about it. Teehee.
Kind of, fine. But they're Hitler clones. That's the bottom line. And I think it was a good investigation movie. Now that we ruined it for everyone, it's hard to recommend it.
Oh yeah, you can't know the twist. If you heard the twist, unhear it. And just go watch the movie first.
Yeah, because the Nazis fled to South America to continue their nefarious plot after they committed GG in World War II. Which makes me ask, why isn't this movie in Argentina? Monkey ass. That's where a lot of the Nazis fled to, and now there's Germans there. Monkey ass.
Maybe they don't want to put anyone in danger. What'd you do if you found out there's a Nazi next door to you?
I'd sow a war.
I'd ask him to work harder. This was a joke, by the way. Don't cancel me. Thank you.
It's a pretty good film.
Work sets you free.
I think it was pretty good, yeah. I'd give it a 7. If I somehow managed to forget the whole plot, I'd watch it again. But it's the kind of movie that when you know what's going to happen, it's kind of ruins it for you. It's a really good investigation movie. I'm usually not into this kind of movie, but this was really good, actually. I liked it.
You will forget it in like 3 years. Cat relieved.
Honestly, for me to completely forget a movie, it takes more like 10, but it's possible. Yeah.
You'll forget it, and then when you start watching it, you'll remember it. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
I know it's like a 7 for me.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
7 it is then. Next one. Oh, god damn it. Let's get this out of the way. Was actually pretty good. I liked it. I'm giving it 7. Moving on. It's completely it's complete weep shit. Zeiss hates it.
This is the show with more lolis that Paladin wanted us to see.
If you don't like anime, you're not gonna like this. I thought this was pretty cool. I liked it. But it's a very anime. So if you're not into anime, you won't like this. It's that simple.
We all need a Kobayashi in our life.
Yeah, we need big titty dragon maid.
And a big titty dragon maid. First, and then once we get that, we can get a Kobayashi.
I don't care about Kobayashi. I want the big titty dragon maid. In fact, just cancel remove the dragon part. I want a big titty maid. That's it. Who would work for free?
Oh, she works for love.
Oh, that's even better, man. Yeah. I'd do that. Actually, I'd do her. Well, that was kind of gross. 7.
Yeah, it's a neat anime. Just needs more Yuri and young dragon daughters. And no lolis. I'm not a creep like you guys.
You're focusing too much on the lolis.
Yeah. Like you're actually you're actually the only one who sees a loli there.
So why do you pick this movie, Paladin?
It's not a movie.
Did you watch all of it with us? Only like the first 5 episodes.
Me?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. I remember the scene with her dad and all the I was there, dude.
Stories about Kobayashi and Toru.
Yeah, but I don't care about Kobayashi. Actually, she was relatable too. Because obviously she's a nerd.
Yeah, you like her coding.
She's a C++ developer. Actually, she seems to be more than just a developer, but I wouldn't know. Like product manager, apparently.
Well, we were supposed to watch your Madoka Magic School Bus, but you bailed on us to Paladin. Angry.
Yeah, that was I didn't get into that at all. I mean, what are you complaining about? You said you didn't like lolis. Like, this is as lowly as it gets.
The more girls there are, the more Emoto hates it.
There were lots of girls in Kobayashi Dragon Maid. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon
There's
Maid.
Mostly girls.
Yeah.
There's only like 2
and
guys.
Several dudes.
Yeah. But there were more. Okay, whatever. 7.
More dudes in the Magic School Bus.
Oh, dude, we should watch this. Yes, let's watch the Magic School Bus. I love the Magic School Bus. But I'd watch it in French. Sort of.
I think Mrs. Fritz is French, isn't she? Canonically,
no
she's
clue.
French.
I don't know. I wouldn't know. Because I watched it in French.
I don't know. You French people have weird stuff going on.
What do you mean? No,
I
I mean
know.
actually, what are you
Just
referring to?
your media is like kind of exists on a different plane.
What do you mean? Do you watch a lot of French media?
I try not to.
Me neither.
Zayas, what did you rate it? Yeah, that's the plane it exists on.
I mean,
Thanks for
that was a good movie.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
No,
French.
I actually don't know what you're talking about. Rain Man. That's the story about Tom Cruise and his retarded brother, who's not actually that retarded. I mean, and by he's not actually that retarded, I mean he didn't act like he was actually retarded.
Yeah, he is.
He acted like a weird guy, but
He's
not
autistic.
actually. He didn't look okay. Look,
no, he kind of reminded me.
I've been around a lot of autistic people, and this is not like none of them behaved like that. So no. Obviously, I'm not a professional, and my experience is anecdotal, but I Dustin Hoffman didn't look to me as though he was actually autistic.
Yeah,
he looked like
I played
someone.
a lot of League of Legends too. So
That's not what I
my
meant.
perspective doesn't count.
That's not. I didn't talk about whatever. I wasn't referring to.
Hee.
But my point is, to me, he felt more like someone trying to look autistic than an actually autistic person. That kind of killed it for me.
This was a movie for the normies.
That's kind of how I felt, yeah. But it was okay. I mean, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I wouldn't rewatch it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. If someone is like, "Oh, should I watch this?" I'd be like, Meh, "Sure, you can." It's not a bad movie. I think I'd give it a 6. The pacing is fine. The writing is okay. There's the cute girl. It's fine. It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Like there isn't.
Yeah, the writing is pretty solid, actually.
Yeah, there isn't a single thing where I'm like, oh, that thing was bad about it. It's like, no, nothing was bad. It wasn't a bad movie at all, but wasn't outstanding either. It's just like I feel like if it's just a few things that if they were done a little better or a little differently, like if Dustin Hoffman had different acting, if he actually looked autistic, but then it wouldn't be as enjoyable a movie. Sure, I think I want to give it a 6.
Oh,
maybe a 7.
You saying autistic people aren't good?
No, I'm saying they make for what's the word? Unrelatable entertainment.
Yeah, it's like a 6 or a 5. 6 or a 5 for me.
Oh, I think it was.
Oh, I thought you'd both find it quite relatable.
Yeah, you're right. It's like a 4.
Ooh.
I don't know. I think it was better than like They Live and Independence Day. Quite
5 or 6 maybe.
I think 6 still. I think it was a 6.
I'm gonna go 5.
Again, it's a decent movie. Oh, this one again.
How many what do you mean?
How many animes did we watch?
This was like an 8 out of 10. I cried the first time I watched it.
I mean, I cried too, but
it's a good film.
I don't know. I'm not the weeb. I only picked the hentai.
7 or 8, sure. I don't know what to say about it. Oh, I hated the beginning so much. Oh, never mind. 6. Jesus. The start was so painful.
You're about to give up on it.
Yeah, I was about to bail out, and then I decided, okay, I'm giving it another 5 minutes, and I got into it. Oh, this was so the first 15 minutes were horrible. I mean, especially the first 10 minutes. Oh,
the love made you uncomfortable?
yes,
XP.
very. I hated that fucking cringe ass love story.
It wasn't cringe. Well,
It was so cringe, man. Didn't we watch the same movie?
Just because you cringe doesn't mean it was cringe.
It was
If
so
you
cringe.
cringed, then
Yes,
there's
it is.
something
Like all anime.
there's something inside of you that was triggered.
Oh, so and he's a wolf boy. So like that means you're a furry, Pally.
So Paladin, why did you like the furry wolf cock? You said you've seen this movie like 4 times, right?
Yeah, that was like the 4th time I've seen it.
I
usually skipped like the first 15 minutes.
Okay then. Okay. Fuck you, dude.
Well, wait, like once you watch it, once you've seen the first 15 minutes, you can get back.
Yeah, and once
So
you've
why
seen
did
them,
you
once you've seen them, you have a good reason not to see it again.
It's just
So
like,
why did you want us
so
to watch
slow.
furry porn with you?
There was no furry porn in here. There was one scene and you didn't see anything.
I'm not a furry, faggot.
There's no furry in here. It's just it's a wholesome story about a family just trying to live and find their place in the world. It's a good movie. It's better than like Paprika.
I agree that it's better than Paprika. But the first 15 minutes,
I mean, they're not bad. They're just like
they're terrible.
Well, let us know in the comments section if you think that Paladin watching this movie 4 times implies that he's a furry.
There's one scene that you could conceivably be interpreted as a furry scene. One scene that's like 2 minutes long. Not even 2 minutes. It's like a minute.
So
it's
a
like
whole
48
minute,
seconds. It's like 48 seconds.
A whole 48 seconds of furry porn.
No.
Actually, yes.
There's a guy that's a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
A wolf guy.
So
and he gets and then they're in a bed and he gets on top of the girl and then he goes in and he kisses and then that's it. And it cuts away.
That's pretty furry to me.
It's like an 8 for me.
No.
Yeah. One scene that doesn't have to be there. You just need to fast forward to the part where they have wolf kids. And then they don't have to show any furry porn at all.
Yep.
Cause that's better writing that isn't fucking degenerate like what you showed us.
So I think the first 15 minutes are a 2 and the rest is like an 8.
This is why I hate anime, honestly.
Wow, you hater.
Too much shit that needs to be cut.
It served a purpose. Show you that
the wolf.
How uncomfortable you would be if you knew someone was a wolf and you'd want to kill them. Which helps.
I wouldn't want to kill. I'd want to kill myself.
The mother.
I'm a cat girl.
Oh.
She needs to protect her children.
Yes, guys, we know you're a furry too. How come I'm the only one who's not a furry here? Jesus. Who would have thought that I'm the only
the furry line?
Who would have thought that I'm the only person here who's not a degenerate?
You're a degenerate. You're a degenerate in more ways than the rest of us.
I showed you guys that fucking graph.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's true.
One graph that confirms your bias doesn't mean anything.
I am surrounded by furry.
Show me you graph then, assholes.
Well, being a furry is like just anything with animal parts. That's all that matters.
So you're admitting being a furry.
Please present me with evidence.
Just put it in 8 and let's be done with it. What do you rate it? You rated it a 7?
7, I think. I rated it like 5 or 6. I can't remember.
It says degenerate as Leon.
What do you mean? Leon is much better than this.
It's degenerate as Antichrist.
Antichrist is split into 2, my man. And that's what I suggested we did with this one too. Put the furry porn at 2 or 0, and the rest at 8.
There's no furry porn in that on the cover art. So,
well,
do those children look like furries to you guys according to your chart? I think not.
And they look pretty furry to me.
Zoom in.
And
Let's
their
see it.
kids. And their kids. So
Oh, okay. I see.
that's one way to do it.
It's because
Ooh.
furry PP was there means it's too segregated. If you were alive during the time of the Nazis, you would have turned your blind eye to the Holocaust. That's all I'm seeing from this.
No, actually, you're the one who's turning a blind eye to furry porn.
Well, they would have killed me.
That's true. And me too, because I'm technically Jew.
I don't think furries watching this would. I don't think a furry would watch this because they're furries.
Furries are also very much in denial.
So I'd either fight to the death or be exterminated.
The only sort of self-admitted furries are like the most degenerate ones. But just because you don't think you're a furry doesn't mean you're not a furry for enjoying this.
What's the next movie we watched? I don't even remember.
I don't know.
We all know you're saving up all your monies to buy a furry outfit, Paladin. It's okay.
Those things are way too expensive.
Oh, that movie, Crucible. It was okay. I was playing Guitar Hero for the first 15 minutes because I looked at it and was like, this looks boring. And I'd say the first 30 minutes of the movie are kind of
The beginning is pretty boring. Well,
yeah. The second quarter is decent, and it's like this movie only gets better with time. And like, I was thrilled at the end of. I mean, it's hard to say thrilled. Maybe not thrilled. I was really into it at the end. Like, it was so good. It really it's a movie that picks up the pace and doesn't actually slow down until the very end, where it just sort of stops, obviously, because he gets hanged. It's such a good movie. I would recommend it. It's so good. I'd rewatch it. I probably will rewatch it. Although I'll probably also be playing Guitar Hero the first 15 minutes again.
Yeah, it's pretty alright.
Oh, that scene where he says,
"Give me my name."
Yeah, you already have my soul. Just leave me my name. That was, oh man, I literally couldn't sleep that night. Though that wasn't the only reason, but shit, that really shook me. That was something. I want to give this an 8. I mean, it's like the first half is a 4. The second half is like 8 or 9.
I wish there was more witches that actually died. No one that died was actually a witch. It was kind of boring. I wanted to see him burn, not just hang.
Oh yeah, that would have been cool. Yeah, I wanted to see more women burn as well.
That girl got away. That was the worst part.
Yeah.
After everything.
The whore.
This is why you don't simp, everyone. You turn around and you kill everybody and then just leave.
Yep. So what are you thinking? I'm thinking it's hard to say because the start was so bad and slow.
It's like a 5 for me.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a harsh critic. I'm sorry.
When you put it that way, I guess it makes sense in terms of writing too. 'Cause is about to Salem witch trials, and Arthur Miller wrote this play during the Red Scare when peoples were calling everyone in America communists and doing their witch hunts. And this McCarthyism reminds me of all the bullshit going on right now in terms of politics with cancel culture and calling everyone a Nazi and shit. It feels pretty relevant.
This was better than your furry shit, man.
Oh, it wasn't?
Yeah, no, it was.
It's at least as good. At most as good.
I'm saying it's at least as good. So I guess
isn't Dragon Maid furry too? Because she literally turns into an animal.
Nope, not furry. It's scaly.
It's kind of okay.
Well, God points for the slow beginning.
Yep, I agree. If it wasn't for the shitty beginning, it would be.
How would it be improved? Like, how would you improve
9
it?
or 8.
Beginning, because I can't really think of any way.
Honestly,
so maybe
there are
we
many.
put them both at 6.
I don't know. You can put this one at 6 and then leave Wolf Children there.
There's no way. Well, the furry movie is better than this.
Okay, we'll compromise and we'll put this one at 6 and leave the other one there.
Both at 6 is fine. I'm okay with both at 6. Although I think Crucible should be 7, but this is not my tier list, it's our tier list.
Okay, watch Crucible again and write an essay on how it applies to us today.
No thanks. How about you?
Ziza already gave you a thesis. It's super
how about
easy.
you, Raj, write a thesis on
our tier list? Welcome, comrade.
Yes. How about you? You make a tier list on how your furry movie isn't actually a furry movie?
I can do that.
Okay,
wait, you say tier list? You say write a tier list on how it's not a furry movie? I think you
is that what I said?
There. I think so.
Okay.
We'll have to
He
check.
said write an essay.
Did you say write essay?
I said thesis.
Oh, whatever. Same difference.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Not saying it loud enough. You gotta yell it.
That's for your sake.
I can take my earbuds out.
Cool movie. I'd seen it before. We were watching it because Zeiss needs to get educated and get the reference. Because we were watching the Office as well, and she needs to know.
It's a Robin Williams film. He's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of things to say. I didn't end up thrilled by this. But also, I'm trying to think of...
Kind of... I don't know. It didn't paint Vietnam as bad as it should have, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe. That's possible. When was this made?
I don't know.
Because
I think
that matters.
It was like 89 or something. I think it was in the 80s that this one was made.
Okay. Then maybe it should have. 87. Oh, like the Bible 87. I don't know.
Because I don't know.
Aside from the very memorable Good Morning Vietnam, was there a whole lot to remember about this movie?
The problem is he didn't seem conflicted about what was going on as much as his friend was. Like, even though he was a friend with that one Vietnam kid, like, he didn't seem like he didn't understand his own conflict.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think if
he sort of called him a traitor.
Yeah, if they spent more time developing that conflict, that internal conflict that would be a result of the external conflict in Vietnam, instead of developing that internal conflict because he wants to bang that kid, that would have been more interesting. Because at the end, he chases a girl and he knows nothing can happen with her, and let's be friends. What a simp! I don't know. That was kind of a lot of time wasted, honestly. I mean, I get the point that it's also a way to say, hey, you can't just like, even if you're an American, you can't just like go to another country and act as if you were the ruler or something. And that goes also for like, if you're just a soldier, you can't just go there and expect women to just drop themselves at your feet or something. I think that's what they tried to go for, but they didn't really. I don't know. I didn't feel like it. I feel like I'm reaching a little bit.
That's like a 5.
I think that's fair, yeah.
So this is the tragic story of Robin Williams being betrayed and having his feelings hurt because his Vietnamese friend used him. So afterward, when he was dishonorably discharged, he decided to become a psychiatrist and move to Boston so that he can help them work through their problems. And then he met Will Hunting and helped him figure out his path in life. I like this story arc.
I think he was honorably discharged.
That actually fits, doesn't it?
Yes.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's why I said it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 5. I would be okay with a 6. I would be okay with a 4, but I think it's 5. Like, it's okay. Yeah, it's more of a 5.
Also, this movie has naked Vietnamese boys. So is that really why you picked this movie, Emoto?
Oh yeah, right there at the beginning. I remember that.
Yep. Yep. Obviously.
We're just taking a bath. It's okay. Or were they?
I
think so.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't. Not a bath, anyway. But they were. They were washing themselves. You think 4? I'm okay with 4. And the last one of the night.
This movie was so bad.
Overrated bullshit. Yeah, it was so terrible. Holy shit. I can't even. I don't understand. So, okay. When I remember when this was released, everyone was talking about it. I was a kid, right? I was like 11. And I think I watched maybe like an hour of it, like half of it, a, a few years ago. And I remember thinking that it was kind of but I would like to see the end. And so we finished watching it actually yesterday. And God, was it bad. God, was it bad. Oh my God. In my eyes, they should have just removed the entire love intrigue altogether. And it could have been a great movie. This is the typical example of a movie that has a fascinating premise, an excellent premise, being completely butchered by what I can only assume to be lazy American movie writing. It is so bad. It's genuinely bad. I don't use the word butchered very often, but I think this is the best way to define this one. The premise, like there was so much to be thrilled about in that movie, and in the end, it was just terrible. And you could, every scene that goes on, you can see every single time, essentially every single time the love intrigue is brought up, is every single time the movie gets worse. You're like, I don't care about the girl. Stop showing me the girl. Show me the kid getting beat up because he got like 10 million rupees or whatever. It's honestly terrible. Don't watch this. It's overrated. People's Choice Award, Toronto. Well, at least we know that Toronto has shit taste in movies.
Isn't there a lot of French people in Toronto?
Actually, no. Toronto is not in Quebec. So, no, there wouldn't be a lot. You're thinking of Montreal.
That's probably what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. And yes, there's a lot of French-speaking people in Montreal, as well as French people.
People like this movie because it's an escape. They explicitly say so.
Yeah, but even that, they didn't even try to actually go for it. They chased that sort of love intrigue more than they chased the escape intrigue. And like the escape intrigue was really cool and interesting, but then there's the girl, and I don't care about the girl. I so didn't care about her. Like, she had no personality. She has nothing interesting about her. She just happened to be the girl that the main character grew up with.
You just hate women. It's okay.
Yes.
It was boring.
Every movie, it's something bad about the woman. It's
empty
okay.
character.
That's not my fault. They should write interesting women character. For instance, actually, your Wolf movie has an interesting. The mom is interesting. It doesn't make it a good movie, but the mom is well written. So now shut up. This was terrible.
It was pretty bad.
Oh my God. This was so bad. I can't believe people like this movie. Honestly. Wait, Zais, didn't you skip one movie though? You're missing one. The Fox movie.
Oh yeah. Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah.
That's like a 9.
Yeah,
movie was so
I
good.
didn't watch it. I think it's a 3 or a 2 in my book.
Forgot it to get that poster.
Yeah, and I forgot to watch it. I was playing Guitar Hero half the time. Literally half the time. I was so not into it. It was boring.
It was not like a. Oh, we need to finish this one first. Hold on.
Yeah. So Slumdog Millionaire.
That's like
honestly,
a 4. No more than a 4 for me.
No. You're crazy. It's a 2.
Think so?
Yeah, I think I'd rather watch it again. I'd rather watch it 3 times than watch this again. This was
Watch
painful.
it too.
This was painful to watch. Like, actually, I did not have a good time watching this at all. The end, I was more in pain than enjoying myself while
I was kind of
watching
frustrated with it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
give it
exactly, right?
like a 3 or 2.
I was
that's fine.
I was so frustrated with it too. It's like
This
you're
movie is
seeing
basically all the tropes and baby's first writing. Just like most anime, honestly. Why in the absolute fuck does everything in his past and the questions have to line up? It's so bad and obvious and so unnatural that you can tell it's written by someone who likes glamorous, unrealistic writing and perfectly timed anime ending that ties up everything into a neat bow at the end. Also, I don't know why the brother didn't just start the fight at the end and kill all the gang dudes. No reason to die in the tub just cause, oh look, boo-hoo, he's sad and wants to be redeemed and repent for his sins for all the pain he's caused his brother. Like, fuck off, dude.
I thought he was gonna burn the money. I was so upset when he didn't burn the money.
Yeah,
Too
right?
cringe.
No, this movie was just bad. Yeah, and I think you put it really well, Pally. I was frustrated looking at this movie. It's a bad movie. It's an objectively bad movie. Because our taste here is
It's a good look at the slums of India, though, and how bad they are.
I mean, I don't know if it's a good look, but it's at least a look. So there is that as a redeeming quality. And I think that's part of why it was so heavily marketed. You know, like, oh, look at, it's a dream, it's escape, it's the slums. But actually, Psych, it's just a love story. And a bad one. Honestly, I don't want to see it get more than a 2. It's a 2. It's so bad.
Like most love stories in writing.
Yes, that is correct. You know what? No, fuck it. Give it a 1. I'd rather watch fucking Waterworld again. I'd rather watch Waterworld again. I'd rather watch
Did you even
Waterworld.
watch all of Waterworld?
Yes, I did actually watch the whole thing. And I'd rather watch that 5 times than watch Slumdog Millionaire again.
I forgot that was the extended cut.
XD.
It was so
long.
Yeah, it was terrible, right? But that's how bad Slumdog Millionaire really is. It's so terrible. I can't believe people like this garbage.
I mean, it's like a 2. I mean, I give it 2 or 3.
I wouldn't give it a 3. 2 is the bare. I would. If you give it more than a 2, I don't know, man.
Okay, we'll put it at 2. I'm trying to think of what I liked about it. I really think.
I don't know what I did. There are a couple things that I liked about it, but I'm just furious about how they butchered it, which just make it even worse. The fact that there were some things that could have been enjoyable in this movie make it even worse.
Yeah, I'd rather rewatch the clown movie. Well,
I'll have to put it part 2 on the list too. One where they're growing up. It's just as bad though, but it's still pretty good.
pick it for Halloween.
This was an amazing movie.
I don't know. It was kind of I will give this the same rating as I did at El Camino, which is inconsequential.
It didn't really have a message or anything. It was just like it was I don't know how to describe it. It was just like a show that you watch. It was
I don't know. I really didn't get into it. I think
what are the words I'm looking for?
I think
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I do. I do get what you mean. I think me specifically, I'm being very biased because I just couldn't get into this movie. Like I started watching it and I was like, I don't understand what I'm watching. I'm not into this. Like in the first 5 minutes, I knew I wouldn't like this movie.
Well, let's watch it again, and so give you another chance.
No,
Tick.
It's. I don't want
This sort of feels like they made a movie just for the sake of making a movie.
Yeah.
The world is the same either with or without it. XD.
That's why I said inconsequential.
It's like a fireworks show. It's like something nice to look at, but once it's done, it's done.
I
you know.
guess.
So
It's not bad. I mean, first of all, the animation's actually really good. Like, it's impressive. The movie looked fantastic, actually.
I don't know. Fireworks are loud and kind of spooky if I don't see it coming.
This was just a little cute at times, kind of inconsequential. I'd give it a 5 or 6. Same rating as El Camino.
No, I get like a 6 or a 7 for me. Like, it's just an experience that you should have. There's not really any story to it, but it's a nice experience. I guess unless you're you and you don't think so.
I like 5 or 6.
Yeah, we'll put a 6.
6 is okay with me. So, to summarize, we have, so starting from the bottom, Slumdog Millionaire at 2. So let me know, guys, if you want to move anything. Slumdog Millionaire at 2.
Nope. Hold on.
Eli.
I fooled you. Teehee.
What is it? What? Oh, okay, yeah, nice. Last one, actual last one. Nichijou.
Wait, how much of that did you guys watch?
Didn't we watch like 4 episodes? I mean, I watched the whole thing years ago, but I think we watched like 4 episodes together or something.
Only what we watched for movie time.
I'm asking how much that was.
I think it was like 4.
I've seen it all. I don't remember how
Me
much
too,
we only
but-
got up to.
Yeah, like
Again.
4.
I think we watched 4. I love this show. It's an
Too.
8 for me.
I give it at least an 8. Yeah. I don't know. It's just another mediocre animated show for Zeiss.
I don't know. I don't know that. I think Zeiss doesn't like when it's like when it overly uses anime tropes, but I don't feel like this one did really.
Is nice. Just regular slice of life. Something to put in the background.
It was exactly like Zeiss said. So what do you rate it, Zeiss? What would you rate it?
Needs more cat girls though.
I mean, what doesn't need more cat girls?
Sad tale of Japanese animation where the second season's never happened because of some disaster in Japan.
Yep. Very sad. I still think K-On! Is better as a slice of life, but this is close.
It's like a cute girls doing cute things show.
K-On! Yeah.
I want to put it higher than Paprika, but I don't know if it should be in 6. Well.
Okay, then put it in 7.
Yeah.
We said 8, and you said higher than Paprika, so that only leaves 7.
Yep.
Good job, Zeiss.
Not sure of 6 or 7 honestly.
7.
Well, you didn't have the whole experience.
And we don't have enough room on 6 anyway.
I don't think that's a good reason not to put more.
Yes,
you just extend the frame.
I can fix that woo.
No, you can't. It's okay. Just leave it put it at 7. Deserves it.
Watch me.
No, you don't have to. No, it's just leave it be.
That's a 7.
Yeah, that's a 7. Nice.
You can watch the rest of it, and then you'll really understand it. It's a 7. Well, you say we only got up to episode 4? It's not even half of it.
That's true, but I think you get a good taste of it in 4 episodes. If you think the 4 first episodes are only worth like 5 or 6, then you're probably gonna think the same of the others. It's not like anything dramatic happens that changes your rating. So, to summarize, starting from the bottom, at 2 we have Slumdog Millionaire. Do you guys want to move that? I'm willing to move that down to 1. It was really bad. I think it's the absolute. Okay, it is the worst movie we've seen, and I think it's the worst movie we've seen in a long time. Look, I think every volume should have like a 1 rated movie, and I think this one should be the one.
Oh, some of the volumes we just watch more movies.
That's true, but still, I think it's terrible. Like I would really rather watch Waterworld again.
Then it still belongs in 2.
Whatever.
The filming was alright. It's the writing that's super weak. I don't think it's as bad as Apostle. Well.
Yeah, okay. Maybe not, but it's close.
Book of Eli.
Then at 3 we have Book of Eli and Mankitsu Happening. I think we might want to move Mankitsu Happening up. Honestly.
What?
Actually, I think it's more enjoyable than Book of Eli. All things considered, I think it's more enjoyable.
I can agree with that.
I think it's on par with like Glory.
Oh, okay, whatever. We can move it up. That's fine.
Okay. Now at 4 we have Mankitsu Happening, Good Morning Vietnam, and Glory. I do think Good Morning Vietnam was significantly better than Glory. What do you guys think?
Yes.
So either move Glory down or move Vietnam up.
I'm okay with whichever.
I think Glory deserves to be lower. Because like Glory is significantly worse than any of the movies at 5. In my eyes, at least. And it is worse than
you're
most
like you change what parts of movies are important to you. So it's like you're comparing them on different terms.
What do you mean?
I think I'd link Glory with the Meat Pies in London show. Then I'd be fine with Good Morning Vietnam and Mankitsu Happening being here at 4.
So you'd want to move the
I think it's good where it's at. Those 3.
Probably.
Okay. I'm fine with it. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. But we have to be careful changing our rating for previous volumes. Okay. Next at 5, we have Paprika, Beetlejuice, and The Indian in the Cupboard. I think I'm okay with that. I wouldn't mind if Paprika was a bit higher, but I know that the 5 rating has more to do with our composite rating than my own. So I think that's fine. Is it comparable to... So Aliens, that's actually Alien 3, right? Or 2, I can't remember. I think it's 3.
Oh, Aliens 3 is Aliens 3.
No, Alien is the first one. Aliens, plural, I believe, is either 2 or 3. It's the one with the military guys and in the... And it was bad. Yeah. I think that's fair. I think this rating is fair.
Yeah, I think this rank is good.
Okay. 6, we have Fantastic Mr. Fox, Crucible, Wolf Children, and Rain Man, and James and the Giant Peach. I still think Crucible deserves to be a bit higher, but I understand why it would be at 6. Other than that...
Put it on a rope and drag it up.
Okay,
the slow start is what drags it down.
Yeah, totally. It really does. This feels okay to me. This is about right.
I'm satisfied with everything is right now, so.
Yeah. I'm considering your opinion, Pally, that Wolf Children should maybe be at 6.
Where's it at now?
Oh. I mean, maybe at 7.
Well, to me, Wolf Children is an 8, but it is what it is.
Because
you guys didn't like it.
It was pretty good. Aside from the first 15 minutes, it was pretty good. All things considered. But I felt like it was a little shallow. Not shallow, just yeah. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot to it, so I don't know. If I could, I'd put it at 6.5.
Yes, I was expecting more.
But yeah, it's like there's not a lot to it. But what was there was, aside from the first 15
So
minutes,
I was disappointed with what I got.
Well, if PP wasn't long enough, is that what you're saying?
No, that's what you're saying, actually.
'Cause it could have been better.
Every movie could always be better.
No, I mean, this one significantly had a bit, like, significant amount of untapped potential. And I don't mean misused, like Slumdog Millionaire. I mean untapped. I want to put it at, like, 6.5. Is that a thing? Can we do that?
It's not a thing that we do.
If the issue is the slow start in Wolf Children, do we also put it where Crucible is? Or is Crucible more worse?
I think they're similar. I wouldn't want Crucible lower than Wolf Children, to be honest. So I think we settled for this. I think this is fine. In my book, Crucible is like 7. Wolf Children is like 6.5. But I think this is 6. I can't settle for 6. Fine.
I think the Fox might have to be dropped 1 rank. Well,
really? I think that would be fair. Yeah. And I think Crucible was better than James and the Giant Peach, and I think it was better than Rain Man. Like, significantly better. Ah, really? Yes, really. But the slow start. Oh, okay, this might be okay. It's a really tough one because to me Crucible is really difficult because because it's like the first half is so bad and the last half is so good. That's what makes it so hard to judge. Like, I'm seeing it at 6 and I'm like, but the last half. But like, yeah, there's also the first half. Okay.
Oh, we'll put it all at the bottom and we'll leave the name at the top. We'll just how it goes.
Like,
so if not for the slow start, it'd be higher. And it'd be better than Rain Man and James and the Giant Ass. So this is a decent compromise.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. At 7, we have 2 weeb shit. Nichijou, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and The Boys from Brazil.
These are pretty weeb if you ask me. So that's 3 weebs.
Wait, how is The Boys from Brazil weeb?
Plot is kind of weeb if you ask me.
Actually, no one asked you. No one asked you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you ask me.
Okay. I think this is fair. In fact, now that I'm looking at it, we watched a lot of weeb shit. 1, 2, 3. Like,
it's the year of
4?
the weeb.
We watched 4 weeb stuff? 5? 6, if we count Madoka. And I mean, this time we watched 5. Oh, damn. Okay. I think the rating at 7 is fine. I don't think I want to change it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Next at 8, we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I think is deserved. It is a very good movie, very good qualities, very few things to dislike about it. I think it's fair. It's well written. So if there are no objections, moving on to 9 with My Cousin Vinny. I'm really wondering if I want to rate it 10. I think we need a second 10. And like, I'm comparing it to the other 9s. And would I rather watch the other 9s or watch My Cousin Vinny? And it's a hard decision to make. But I'm thinking maybe there would be a world in which if I had to pick between watching My Cousin Vinny and watching Joker, I might decide to watch My Cousin Vinny again. And similarly for definitely the same for Reservoir Dogs. Rango, maybe also. Princess Bride, yes. Back to the Future, possibly. So like, I think Vinny is like the leader of the pack of the 9, and maybe that deserves a 10.
Spider-Man is fine at 8. What's flawed about Vinny? Whether a strong weakness or a weak, picky one. I think the pacing is on point, the characters are good, the humor is good.
I think there is very few. I think there are so few things to dislike about this movie. Like, I can't even think of one. I think it was a really good movie, and not only did it not have anything that I disliked about it, there were many, 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 many things that I actively liked about it. And that's what makes a great movie in my book. And I think that's what this movie was kind of perfect. I mean, I can't think of something I didn't like about it. So I think that's why I think it deserves a 10. Like even Back to the Future, Joker, Reservoir Dogs, even Rango, there might be a few things where I'm like, yeah, it could have been a little different for like just tiny things. But Vinny, not really. I really, really, really liked it.
Okay, so 10 it is.
I want to put it at 10, yeah. And I mean, the girl is really hot. So I think that's what pushes it over the edge. Hell yeah, second 10.
That means I win the race to get the second 10. Ooh.
Yep. I mean, oh brother, that was my suggestion, wasn't it? So now, Pally, it's your turn to pick a movie that's going to get a 10.
I didn't know it was a competition.
I mean, it is. As long
Paladin doesn't have any 10s. He just picks creepy animation.
Honestly, I think we struggle a lot between 9s and 10s. I think a lot of the movies at 9 could be arguably pushed to 10. But I really liked Vinny. And it's tough because I love all the movies at 9 as well. Aside from Reservoir Dogs, which I think is a little overrated. Just a little bit. It's so funny. Imagine someone asks you, hey, would you rather watch Slumdog Millionaire or Mankitsu Happening? And you're like, oh, Mankitsu Happening. Obviously, much better writing.
I would.
Yeah, I would too, because it's true. It's just kind of funny. Okay. Well, this is our updated movie time tier list. Guys, this was a lot of fun to make. Let us know in the comments if you agree with us. I'm assuming you won't. I'm assuming you're not even watching. Well, but if you do disagree with us, please let us know. Again, this is obviously a very biased tier list because there's 3 of us. We don't even agree on all of these. But so far, I'm really liking where it's going right now. I think our biggest struggle is between 10s and 9s, honestly. It's really hard to find a proper 10. Like a movie without flaws. It's
so
really hard. It like again, I think arguably a lot of the movies at 9 could be pushed to 10. Like Joker, or maybe not Joker, but like Rango, for instance, is one that could be pushed to 10. But we're not gonna have this. Do you guys want to put Rango at 10?
No.
Okay. Anyways, that is it for us today. Thank you very much for watching. And we will see you in probably the next movie time tier list in a few months. Thank you guys for watching.
X3.
Bye-bye. Well, yeah. I mean, bye.
Bye-byes.
Bye.
Okay. Well, that was fun. Really, you don't think Rango deserves 10? Maybe I think what might have happened is that when we rated this, I argued that Rango should be a 10.
Well, you said it's a movie that we could put at 10.
Yeah. But then why don't we?
And I said yes, we could.
Yeah, but then why don't we? I think for something to be a 10, we need to all agree that it should be a 10. Obviously.
But there's not enough QT Fox GIF.
And so that's why you... Okay. Fine.
XP.
Okay. This is cool.